With that, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time, and it's a privilege for me to introduce you to our panel discussion on embracing sustainability. Building a better world for the future. In a world facing unprecedented challenges, it's imperative that we come together to foster sustainable choices and pave the way for a brighter tomorrow. Today, our distinguished panelists will delve into the various ways we can collaborate to boost sustainability, from innovative solutions to collective actions. The moderator for this panel discussion would be Ms. Richa Sang, Chief Editor, Asiaone magazine. So ma'am, could I please have you up on stage? And with that, we would also like to invite our panelists on stage. We have here with us, to share their thoughts and minds with us, Mr. R.V. Nair, founder and CEO, Iran International, Dr. Amit Bhatt, Vice Chancellor, Dayanand Sagar University, Mr. Tarun Poddar, CEO, Foxhawk Ventures Corp, and Ms. Jalpa Vichlani, Director, Global Aviation Services Private Limited.
On the most, not only coveted, but important and significant topic, which is sustainability. Sustainability is the need of the hour because future lies in making responsible decisions. So I hope you all agree with that. Yeah? So over to you, Ms. Jalpa. So what do you feel like? How can we all contribute in making a sustainable world for the future generation? So over to you. Let's keep it crisp. I know you're a very good orator. So
thank you, Char. Thank you. It's been a wonderful journey with Asiaone, and I'm today here actually on the platform for Global Aviation Services. I've been a farmer for over 2 decades, and I'm the Vice President of Western India Floriculture Association. The reason I mention this is there's always been a very strong connect to the planet, to Mother Earth, and I think it's a time where it's a time for all of us to come together to make very important, informed choices, to make conscious decisions on how we are going to, honor the environment, the resources which are really available to us. And the first thing which comes to my mind is, I think it's extremely important that we make this a subject in schools. So right from the beginning, the younger generations understand the importance of this, and it's good for us to maybe even involve parents in this. So I really think it should be part of the curriculum. And another thing I think is very important, and with this august audience here, is that we make it part of the corporate culture, in our organizations, in our companies, in our offices, and all of us make a lot of conscious decisions and choices to preserve the environment in many different ways.
That's true, and thank you for keeping it short, crisp, and I would say lovely. So thank you. Over to you, Mr. Poddar.
Hi, good evening, Risha. So sustainability, these days this is not an issue. This is a concern for us. Okay. Why we always talk about the sustainability in the business only? Don't you think that the sustainability is directly proportional to the loyalty, durability, and all other things so I think that sustainability doesn't relate only to the business. Okay, it's all about our lifestyle, and how can we imagine anything without sustainability? I come from finance background, like when we started Foxhawk in India, people were talking that there are lot many big boys in the country, especially all those big bankers, then how we will be sustaining in the country. We're coming from all the way from US and establishing an investment bank in India, right? Now, it's not about something that we talk sustainability can be an issue. It is going to be a concern, and this concern must be resolved with few other things, which actually what I have experienced in my personal and professional life. Why we don't give privilege to those people who are around us, right? Because trust doesn't come when you do trust. Trust comes when we give privilege to the people to be free. Then it comes with that, right? So I think that sustainability is a concern for us, And talking about either, generally I have seen the previous report of PwC, EY sustainability report. They actually generally post their report as an annual report. Either that are ESG or maybe CSR, corporate social responsibility. So I think that we should talk, and I think that in this hall especially, we know about sustainability, but let's ask to the people that यहाँ पे, in the country, how many industries and how many companies are working towards ESG and the sustainability. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वो तो ऐसी बात है कि GST के लिए लड़ाई तो सब करते हैं, भरता कितना है? That's the thing. So we must know there are little percentage of the people in the country who are actually knowing about sustainability.
I got your point, Mr. Pudar, and you actually made a very, very valid point.
Thank you.
So, thank you. So let's have a young perspective now, Mr. Aryavi.
So firstly, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the Asiaone team for providing me such an opportunity to be able to present in front of such a distinguished audience at such a young age. Is truly an honor. And on the topic of sustainability, which is a rising concern in today's world, I would say sustainability, we all know what it means. It means the ability of an organization to meet the needs of this generation without jeopardizing the ability of future generations to meet their needs. However, for startups especially, in today's world, it is becoming increasingly difficult to incorporate or inculcate sustainable practices along with profitability. However, I would like to thank my parents who have instilled in me a set of values that have always pushed me when I faltered. And that led me to this path of venturing into lab-grown diamonds in the semiconductor industry. My whole purpose, or our purpose as an organization, is to develop a more sustainable alternative to the silicon wafers that are used in majority of applications in today's time. Actually, sustainability, I would say, runs deep in my family because my dad, he started a biorefinery back when sustainability was truly rare in the corporate world. And following suit, I've now started my own venture in this business. Sustainability, as our panelists already mentioned, is a rising concern for us. However, there are other aspects other than the environmental impact of an organization that I believe that we must face. My firm personally follows the business strategy known as triple bottom line, which revolves around the idea that sustainability not only encapsulates the environmental impacts of a business, but also the social and economic impacts as well. What it means is the ability of a business to upkeep the social well-being of its workforce, as well as the ability of an organization to generate profits without harming the ability of future generations to make profits.
So thank you, Mr. Arabi. It's a very young and very enriching perspective indeed, and the value thing which you brought about, I was just about to come over to that. Was the next question which you took up in the first question itself, and thank you for that. We have our very esteemed panelist, Dr. Asiaone, joining us. So ma'am, please come over. Please welcome everyone. Please welcome Dr. Asiaone Mohammad Zaveri from UAE. Welcome, Dr. Arshi. So we have the next perspective. Vice Chancellor Sir, Dr. Amit Bhatt. Sir, please share your views on sustainability.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Risha. Thank you for asking this wonderful question, and also thanks to Asiaone for arranging this wonderful talk. Being one of the oldest member in this panel, I shouldn't say one of the oldest member, one of the oldest member on the panel. While growing up, I never heard the word sustainable, because things were sustainable. I still remember the amount of garbage coming out of our house every day. was like, maybe a small bucket of organic waste. 90% was organic waste. Very rarely you would find plastic bag, because all plastic bags were neatly folded and kept in cupboard to be used for something. Then I went to US in mid-80s, and there I saw my two roommates and we would fill up a huge garbage bag. I was so surprised, and I still feel that the amount of sustainable or sustainability can be measured by the amount of garbage that you throw out. And that should be, whether it is on individual basis or whether it is on a company basis. Now, with increasing affluence, we like packaging, we like, things that are wrapped, and, a lot of things are pre-cooked, things are available. So our garbage is also increasing, and now we are worried. There are more affluent people on this earth, and also there are more of us. So now the sustainability is now holding a real thing. If you have seen any garbage dumping site, your eyes would open up that, this is what we are dealing with. How do we get rid of the plastics? How do we get rid of lead? How do we get rid of electronic waste? So now people are talking of sustainability, they are waking up. Our university, which I represent, the Anand Cyber University, we have made our campus a smart campus. We do rainwater harvesting. All our gardens are watered by recycled wastewater. So I think all the companies are now taking such things in their stride. But I think the idea of sustainability starts with an individual. If you decide that you don't want to waste things, you can make a difference. So that is what I feel. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So over to you, Dr. Arshi. What are your views on sustainability?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you so much. I would first want to begin by congratulating Asiaone. Mr. Rajat Shukal deserves a huge round of applause from this audience first. It is a fantastic endeavor that he always spearheads along with his team. I am deeply grateful for the invitation, and it's truly a pleasure to be here. I believe the meaning and the objective of sustainability has already been covered by my able fellow panelists and also the young voices on the panel. I'm not really sure on how well we can map the old and young, but I think we fall somewhere in between. So I think we can put that together. My understanding to sustainable action is putting together intelligent and pragmatic solutions that not only make sense for the environment, but also are economically feasible. It shouldn't sound like activism after a point, because that is always never well received by anybody. It should make practical sense on ground. Now, this may or may not necessarily mean that we are promoting a certain kind of a product or asking you to triple your investment renewables. I think we have to focus on solutions that actually serve well for us as a society and as well for the planet. Now, a lot of conversation around sustainable innovation, sustainability, and we had a lot of that at the consensus at the COP28 hosted by the UAE government under the leadership of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the UAE President, and was also in attendance by Indian Prime Minister Modi, along with 140 heads of state that collectively agreed to slowly phase out the dependence on fossil fuels, tripled investment in renewables. But my personal understanding of this is we shouldn't go forward and do something without having a clear understanding of it as individuals, as institutions, and as companies in the private sector or in the public space. Have an understanding, see if it is good for you in the economic sense, and also serving your families and the generations ahead. Now, if you ask my grandmother the usage of a smart bin or an electric panel, the answer is going to be no. They wouldn't know. We need to have intelligent, scientific, data-driven solutions that are simple and not complicated in real life. From our investment perspective, we put together a company into engineered bamboo trees that grow at a speed of 1.5 feet per day, are regenerative, and have a 10 times higher carbon sequestration capability. They are also producers of renewable energy in bioethanol, which is again a huge priority of the Indian government as well. Biofuels, bio-oil, hydrogen. Now, I'm not saying that an intelligent, nature-driven solution is the only solution. There are so many of them that are in different technologies. But we must identify what works for us and what is working for the society and the proximity close to us. Also understand the difference in the region, what climate demographic is suitable to our solution. So in a nutshell, that is my understanding of sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arshi, for keeping it, very, very comprehensive, detailed, and, very enriching indeed. So some of the panelists have, already brought in the moral aspect, the value aspect, which we teach our, children also at home, to reuse things, to reduce waste, to recycle things. So that is what, the Chancellor Sir also, brought about, whatever he's doing, the work which he's doing at his university. So that morality aspect, which I feel is very, very important. So let's quickly, ask Ms. Jalpa the morality aspect involved in sustainability in a minute, quick, crisp, as it was earlier, response.
Well, when you're talking about the morality aspect, I think it's something which has to come from within, that we do want to make a difference, that we pledge to make a difference. And I'd just like to highlight the 4 C's of sustainability. The way I see it, it's about consumption, making conscious choices, conservation. We're talking about coming together as a community to make a difference, and cooperation, where we are all really going to be involved in this, and each one is really going to make a difference. I think it's important to also have mentorship, like I mentioned, whether it's, for young minds in schools and institutions and in the corporate culture as well. But yes, I'm an optimist, and I think another important thing is that we are looking at awareness, of course. We should also look at affordability. But for instance, if I want to eat organic vegetables, I have to pay more. So eventually we have to even look at this at some point, the price points, when we make conscious choices, which are really in line with the planet and sustainable choices, they should also be affordable choices for a large segment of people. That's what I feel.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, I really agree with you. So Aryavir and Chancellor Sir have already taken up that moral aspect. So Mr. Podar, quickly from you in one-liner, what the role of morality in sustainability from you? Quickly,
I saw the topic called sustainability for, better future, right? Don't you think that we should quickly say that, sustainability for better future, sustainability is equal to better future?
Very true, very true. Thank you. Thank you for being so precise. So Dr. Arshi, last words from you, and then we conclude the panel. The role of morality in sustainability.
If you allow me a minute, I would want to talk about what I feel about morality. Less to be in words and more in action. Now we're very proud to be a part of a government that is not one of the largest producers of the greenhouse gas emission, but please keep in mind, is the largest contributor to the Global Climate Action Fund of nearly $30 billion, which is aimed to be projected to about $250 billion in the next 10 years by the leadership of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the UAE President. Not only the funding and the accountability is an important part, but please remember, the oil-dominating nations have collectively built consensus on phasing out fossil fuels. Morality is also your action and not just words. You have to go ahead and do it. Pledging, talking is fantastic, but it has to also be demonstrated in words. So my understanding is that each one of us has morality because we are human beings. And the only way to progress as a civilization is doing more on ground that actually impacts people. Thank you.
Wow, that was actually indeed amazing. Thank you, Dr. Arshi, for bringing in facts in such an amazing manner. And I would like to conclude by saying that what Mahatma Gandhi ji said long, long ago, the world has everything for everybody's need, but not his greed. So that concludes the morality aspect as well. So thank you everyone, thank you our esteemed panelists, thank you audience for being so patient and listening to us. Thank you.